My name is Nana, and I come from a small village near the Oji River, in southeastern Nigeria. This story happened many years ago, when I was about 12. Back then, we had a boy in our village named Chima. Everyone knew him. Not because he was the smartest, or the strongest, or even the most troublesome. Chima was known for just one thing. He couldn't cry. I mean that in the realest way. You could hit him, beat him, insult him, even hurt the people he loved, but Chima would never shed a tear. Not even one. At first, we thought he was brave. Boys wanted to be like him. I even tried to copy him once. I twisted my ankle during football, and I held back tears to look strong, like Chima. But I failed. The pain made me scream. Chima just stared at me while I cried on the ground. His face had no expression. Just still. People whispered things. Some said he had no soul. Others believed he had been touched by a spirit. But most of us didn't know the real story, not until later. One evening, I asked my mother. She looked around before speaking, like she was afraid someone might hear. They say a spirit visited Chima's mother when she was pregnant, she said. In her dream, the spirit said, "This child must never cry. If he does, he will die." She thought it was just a nightmare. But when Chima was born, he didn't cry. Not even during his naming ceremony, or when they cut his umbilical cord. From that day, they made sure he never cried. I remember just sitting there. Quiet. Scared. What kind of life is that, where you're not allowed to cry? But here's the thing about Chima, he didn't just avoid crying. He avoided feeling. When we were small, we all used to catch dragonflies and play with them. But Chima, he would pull off the wings and line the bodies on a leaf. He once held a struggling bird over a fire until its feathers curled. We thought he was just being wicked. But it was more than that. It was like he didn't understand what pain felt like, not his pain, or anyone else's. One time, a boy teased him in the market. The next day, that boy's family found their goat tied to a tree, its ears missing. Chima never admitted it. But we knew. The elders warned him. His father beat him. His mother wept every time she saw someone hurt. But Chima, nothing. He would just stare. Not angry. Not sad. Just empty. Then something truly strange happened. One afternoon, Mom Nkechi, the oldest woman in our village, caught Chima behind her hut. He had taken her chicken, poured palm oil all over it, and was drawing strange shapes in the dirt. She screamed. People gathered. Chima stood there, calm, covered in oil. When they asked him why he did it, he said nothing. That night, the elders met. I heard my father whisper to my uncle, "That boy carries darkness. We can't keep him here." His parents begged. They said, "Please. If you beat him, and he cries, he will die." So the village chose cleansing. We gathered at the village square at night. It was dark, with only the moon above us and fires lit around the circle. The priestess came, wrapped in white cloth, her face painted with chalk. She tied red cloth to Chima's wrists and ankles. He sat on the ground, legs crossed, hands still. The priestess lit herbs and began to chant. "We call on the spirits of water, earth, and air," she said. "If the boy's heart is sealed, we open it. If the soul is heavy, we lift it." She slapped him. Hard. He didn't move. She slapped him again. Nothing. She took burning ash and pressed it onto his chest. His eyes twitched. His lips quivered. Then a single tear fell from his left eye. The crowd gasped. Chima blinked. And then, he collapsed. People ran to him. But he was already gone. The next morning, we buried Chima behind the Iroko tree, far from the village, where cursed souls go. The priestess said one thing. We forced him to feel. But it came too late. The pain inside him had nowhere to go. It crushed him. After that, no one talked about Chima again. His parents moved away. The tree behind the burial site was always quiet. Even birds didn't perch there. But me. I still remember. Because sometimes, when I'm alone, I think about that one tear. What did he feel in that moment? Regret. Fear. Sadness. Or maybe, nothing at all. Maybe some people are born to break silently,